What's up, you guys? Shartimus Prime here at New York Toy Fair 2019 here at the NECA booth with Mr. Randy Falk. How are you doing today, Randy?
Doing well, thank you.
Excellent. It's been a busy show, right? It's been crazy.
Yeah, it's been insane. It's blowing up for 3 days now.
Awesome. There's a lot of things happening, and I wanted to ask, we have a lot of Ninja Turtles stuff behind us. We have some new goodies. A lot of people have been really excited about that.
Right, so yeah, the 2-packs based on the cartoon, they're hitting Target by the end of this month. So last week February, first week March, they'll be in almost all the Target stores. And there will be a wave 2 later in the year. Rocksteady and Bebop are part of that wave, and those are here for the very first time. So it's got a lot of people excited because they're new ones we've never shown before. And we have about, I want to say somewhere around 18 other figures that are either done or in development right now. A mix of cartoon and movie, but we got a whole lot more, in the pipeline.
You've been able to work on a lot more Turtles because I know it's been a little bit timid. You've had exclusives come out, and then now they're coming out in retail. I wanted to know what you had to say to consumers that were buying, or people have gotten upset about them being exclusives and then going to retail. We've talked about your licenses in many interviews before about how you kind of you're kind of limited as what you're allowed to put out there. So is that basically what's happening right here? It seems like it.
Well, yeah, so the deal always was historically that we were limited to convention only because of Playmates being master toy rights, and we couldn't sell anywhere where Playmates was or where they didn't want us to be. And we certainly couldn't sell like a single figure into retail. We were never at Toys R Us. So we basically, for Turtles, for about 4 years, we had about one release every year centered around San Diego Comic-Con or something. And we've done a bunch of different iterations. We've done Mirage, we've done the arcade, we've done Fred Wolf, and then the 1990 film being the most recent one. What's happened is, Playmates and the current focus is elsewhere on Rise of and what they're doing with the new Turtles. And they're not doing anything with Classic. And slowly but surely we've been able to open up a few doorways. First was GameStop, because GameStop doesn't carry Playmates at all. So we got the movie line in there.
Makes sense.
And then with the cartoon line, while Playmates is at Target, they're only in the toy section, and we're in our own separate section in entertainment. And our price point is about a $50 retail because it's a 2-pack. So there's stuff that's differentiated and enough that separates us from what they're doing, that we're able to get into some more of these doorways and get out there to more collectors, which ultimately is what we've always wanted, but we were held by restrictions because, let's face it, Playmates has done it since day one. They were there since the late 80s and have done the line for 30 years. So there's, loyalty and pre-existing relationship, and the master toy license that's paid probably millions of dollars of royalties over the years. We get it. We play by the rules and done what we could do all this time. Made the best collector product out there ever for collectors, and now it's getting into more collectors' hands. So it's a win for everybody because everyone's got GameStop and Target. So now, while I maybe could only do 5,000 or 7,000 sets at a con before, now you can go to your local GameStop or your local Target and get the best versions of the cartoon Turtles or the best versions of the movie Turtles that have ever existed.
I wanted to ask you also about, you're talking about retail and everything. Did Toys R Us going out of business, has that affected your approach at obtaining certain licenses or different licenses? Has that changed any kind of direction where you want the company to move forward as far as, the kind of product that you're putting out there?
On the licensing front, no, because we still go after the same types of stuff, same licenses, our bread and butter stuff, the Alien and Predator, the horror stuff we've been doing all along. The Toys R Us thing, it hurt in the sense that we built a big business there for 5 years, and we had a huge section, a big presence, had done a bunch of exclusives. They were an important partner. And then equally as important, they're our home company. As a Jersey-based company like us, it's sad to see any company go out of business, especially one right in your own backyard, and to lose that experience of having this awesome toy store that I grew up going to, that I could take my kids to, and it's no longer there. That stinks. So there was a little bit of scrambling to figure out online is always there, and we appreciate the mom and pops and the people that are there day in, day out, the big bads, the entertainment earths, all that kind of. But you got to have brick and mortar because you're reaching people who don't know. Collectors know, and they can find this stuff online, but you want to get someone who's not out there like following Toy Arc or the Fwoosh every day, who just walks into a store and is like, what is this, And that's why Target's been a great thing for us. We started in August, so we've been there about 6 months now, and it's going really well. The sections are expanding. As you see now, there's exclusives. We had a Predator exclusive this fall. We have the Turtles going in about 2 weeks. And that business is just growing, and it's great because everyone's in Target, whether it's for clothes or groceries or movies. Everyone's there. There's 1,800 stores, which is way more than we were in at Toys R Us.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it's going to work out better for everybody.
Okay, great. And then I wanted to ask about the DC figure 2-packs that we'd seen. I think that was like 2 years ago.
And 3.
3 years ago, shoot, man. And now there's been a lot more changes happening with the licensing of DC figures. And I want to know how that's affected those 2-packs that we saw 3 years ago.
It's affected them in a positive way that I can get them out, but I can get them out this year direct to consumer through the conventions.
Okay,
So it's a transitional year. Before everything changes over and all the new players are in place next year, we're able to do a few SKUs for San Diego and for New York. So there'll be some pre-orders for non-attendees like we always do, so watch out for that towards the end of May or beginning of June. But we'll have 2 different 2-packs for San Diego and most likely 2 other 2-packs for New York. And then that's it. So it's one chance to dance, that's it.
Wow. Oh, so there's that small window right there. Hey, but awesome sounding exclusives. I'm excited for that.
They're great, and we've wanted to get them out all along. Originally, they were going to be at retail. That was the plan, and the rug got pulled out from under us on those, but we've waited patiently, and we're finally get them out there this year.
Excellent. And out of all the new stuff that we have out here, what are you most excited for? Like, what's like really gotten you most pumped? Because I mean, the way you guys have your displays out here, there's B-roll footage. It's like you're obviously having fun with your own products. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we wouldn't keep doing it and working the hours we work if it wasn't fun. Like, a paycheck is nice and it pays the bills and keeps the lights on, but like, we're all passionate about this stuff, and it shows in the way it's merchandised, the way it's packaged, the way it's displayed. It's a labor of love for everyone, like whether it's our sculptors, our painters, our model makers, our photographer. Like, a lot of thought and care and love goes into everything that we do. It's hard to pick a favorite, man, because it's like, there's so much. I'm a big horror guy, so to see how much that's expanded thanks to the success of movies like the Conjuring films and It in 2017 and Halloween last fall. Like, Halloween's bigger, or horror is bigger than ever. So like, we're able to do all those big AAA titles, but then have fun with stuff like The Fog and Reanimator and Nightbreed, Halloween 3, stuff that like no one's done before. So that's really fun. Predator, we have our 100th figure, which is amazing. To me, it's like sort of a crowning achievement that we've taken a movie that's over 30 years old, was R-rated, and we have a toy line now that previously was kind of specialty only, and we've done over 100 figures. That's like crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a milestone, and to now create our own Alpha Predator for number 100, and like to do that collaboratively as a group, like the guys in the studio and Dave Silva, who did the design work and the sculpting on it. That's just kick-ass. It's like, we've made this cool Predator, and for the fans who know, it's like the armor and the mask are an homage back to the original Steve Wang design for what the Predator creature was going to look like. So there's just like all sorts of fun, like insider kind of stuff that we've put into it, and the response to that's been awesome. We've been sitting on that for almost a year, to finally pull the curtain back and let everyone see it. It's gratifying, and it's just a lot of fun, all of it, and making toys is a blast.
Yeah.
Manufacturing toys in China, not always a blast, but
I'm sure
but making them it's a lot of fun. And
that's excellent. One last question, because one thing I've been curious about, because I've seen, and we've talked about this before, but because you have some new product right here geared towards like music, and like you have the Anthrax. I can't remember his
Scotty,
name.
yeah.
Scotty, and then some of the Megadeth stuff out there. I mean, can we get fully articulated Misfits figures? That's what I want to see more than anything else. Fully articulated Misfits, please.
Well,
It's just a request. 'Cause I
uh,
don't think we've had fully articulated ones before.
we did Crimson Ghost, like the Fiend,
Yeah,
with the robe and the articulated body underneath. The guys themselves, you know,
Yeah.
I'll be honest, your hold up there is going to be Danzig himself. So you get. Look, I'm a huge fan,
Oh yeah.
and when they were back out last spring, I did the double lock. I shaved my
Yeah.
beard and I painted my face, and I was dressed like Doyle, and the armbands, the big
Oh,
boots.
yeah.
I'm
So
I'm
you got
all
the
the
makeup
way.
and everything,
So
yeah.
you don't need to. You're preaching to the choir.
Yeah, that's
I'll
what-
show you pictures off camera.
Yeah.
I'm on board 100%. That's always been the obstacle, and you know, it's Glenn either doesn't want to do it or he wants a lot of money to do it for something that isn't, you know, I love them, but
Yeah.
no disrespect. It's just, it's a small play. It's not a huge. You're not going to do huge volume on it,
Oh.
you know. So you can't pay a whole bunch of money to do it.
Yeah, but I think now would be the time for it. You know, like with last year and everything. It's like
you're still going to sell what you're going to sell. So maybe someone else will pay them, but
Okay.
you know, if we could do it, we'd do it. Believe me, I was there in May when they played with, you know, Jerry and Doyle and Glenn and Lombardo on drums and all. Love it, but
Oh, man.
yeah.
I'm jealous. I'm super jealous. I heard they're super strict about recording and all that stuff. Like you had
they
like
lock up your phones and
Yeah.
it's a whole,
bass player. The bass player for my band went to the show in L.A. and he was like, "Yeah, you had to put it in a little bag and stuff."
box and it's pretty insane.
Yeah, I've tried looking online, but I wasn't there, so I don't get to see it, you know. But anyway, thank you so much, Randy, for your time. I really appreciate it, and I'm very excited for the stuff that you have coming out here. And I look forward to you next year. And thanks for watching New York Toy Fair 2019. Hey, new Sharpness Prime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face, a simple shot. Your face,